Brad Stewart, Go Foods Global. Good to be with you this evening on this product call. Tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about genetically modified food products and what they really mean to each one of us. And as a company, when we talk about being a company that's very serious about non-GMO, which is part of our Nutriversal Seal. So thanks for being here with us this evening. This will be a short, concise call, and looking forward to sharing some information that you may enjoy, as I have enjoyed the process of learning much more about it. As always, as we start this evening, I always like to start with just a little bit of information that can be beneficial. In my own personal life, one of the things that I've enjoyed is each and every day looking for different things that I can improve upon. And I met a gentleman when I used to be a powerlifter years ago that taught me the principle of Kaizen or Kaizen, you can pronounce it different ways, which is a Japanese term for really making incremental small baby steps. And I know when I used to powerlift, I got to a certain point where I can remember where I just made these very tiny but sometimes very meaningful, gradual little improvements. And as a company and as in our own personal life, this Kaizen strategy really involves all of us. And it's the idea that together, by working on little things, we can make those little teeny improvements, but over time, it's a big time investment, if you will, that pays dividends on a lot of fronts. And you can do it without investing a large amount of time, a large amount of capital. You get everybody just to do a little bit. So I think that this Kaizen concept, if you will, the Japanese term, is a great mantra for anyone that's a change agent or a change-minded person who's looking for those little teeny continuous improvements. So I know that this week, and as we're traveling across the country right now, Go Foods is sharing our mission and vision as a company and sharing the power of the Nutriversal Seal, which is a part of all of our foods. We continue to work with this Kaizen idea of making little improvements, little baby steps, if you will, to make sure as a company. And that segues in to the mission and vision of our statement as a company. Go Foods Global, the company, has a very exciting mission and vision, which is to feed and prosper American families and then on to the world. And we do this by serving, saving, and sharing very relevant food. This food is easy to prepare. The meals, the beverages, we're all living on-the-go lifestyles in the 21st century. And the very nature of our very simple, easy, go anywhere, do anything food encourages people to eat more nutritiously, to eat more healthy. We take the guesswork out of it. We take the time out of it. We make it very affordable. It lets us spend more time together, and we can enjoy these food, these mouth-watering foods, taste as good today as they will in 25 years from now. So the Nutriversal Seal that I've been mentioning and what we're going to talk about tonight, the non-genetically modified, we promise that our food is quick and easy to fix, generally speaking. In less than about 14 minutes, you can have a meal prepared for your family. It has long, stable shelf life of up to 25 years, and we promise you can eat it every day. And we also make it clear as a company that the 100% satisfaction with every single one of our products, meaning that if you have any problems with it, we will stand behind it, and that will save you time and save you money. So what I'm going to do is just share a little bit of information about genetically non-GMO, if you will, ingredients. We go to great lengths as a company to make sure that we don't source anything with ingredients that come from sources where they use what we would call the GMO technique or model. The term genetically modified is GMO is really referred to, it's a process where they take genetics, I guess you would say genetic engineering, and they make specific changes to the DNA of a crop or plants that are grown, or even meat, if you will, meat animals. And when you really think about it, it's kind of scary, especially for a number of reasons. What they're trying to, what we've always been told is they're trying to increase the production, if you will, or the betterment of a particular plant. But if you do a little bit of research, you'll find that really they're building products to be resistant to herbicides, and it's really not about improving nutritional content, which is what's been talked about for a long, long time. What I find interesting is that almost all commercial genetically modified plants, and we'll just talk about plants for the sake of discussion, are engineered to withstand direct application of herbicides by farmers, if you will. And despite all of the different biotech technology, if you will, and promises that the GMO traits are there to increase the yield of crops or make them more drought tolerant or enhance nutrition, none of those consumer benefits are really a reality. And so there's a lot of evidence, and it just keeps piling up, that genetically modified food is something we do not want in our bodies. The U.S. is very lax compared to most other countries. Most of the other developed nations, around 50 of them, including Australia and Japan, most of the European Union, they actually outlaw genetically modified plants, and they have very, very stringent restrictions and outright bans of the use and sale of genetically modified products. But in the U.S., the United States government has approved many, many GMOs based on studies, if you will, by the very same corporations that created those products for their profit and sale. Yet we're using the studies that come from those companies. So one of the things as a company, we take the high road. We do not want to source our products that are genetically modified. The very intent seems strange to me if you think in terms of farmers work very hard to grow crops for us. They have their crops, if you will, within a geographic area, and these patents, if you will, by these biotech companies actually have in place that if any of the drift that comes from the fields themselves get contaminated over on their own farm. So it would be like if my crop ended up sprouting some corn from your crop and that crop was genetically modified and it ended up over on my field, they can turn around me as a farmer and they can sue me for that. And I can't do anything about it. So it poses a real threat to the sovereignty, if you will, of the at-risk American farmers that exist today in our country. And I believe it's a national food security as well, because this is going on all over the world. So we're of the opinion, avoid genetically modified products at all costs. Let me give you two crops as an example. About 88% of all of the corn in the U.S. was genetically modified in 2011, is the statistic that I read. And approximately 93, 94% of the soy in the U.S. the crops in the U.S. in 2011 were genetically modified. Our company only sources American-made corn, American-made soy, and we're in that top 5 or 10%. We seek out non-genetically modified crops. And there's many, many other high-risk crops that are in place. I'll round out just a couple of thoughts on genetically modified and why it is something that we really just think it makes sense. We don't irradiate our food. We make sure that as we source products, that these raw crops have not been irradiated, which the vast majority of the crops in our country are irradiated. I gave you the statistic just on corn and soy as an example. 88, 93% of those products that we consume in this country come from genetically modified, so most citizens don't even know that. But the Nutriversal seal that we hold our head high with, our products are vegetarian, they're made in the USA, Circle U kosher certified, which is the crown jewel of our Nutriversal seal. Natural products, we've got all kinds of products, soy-free, gluten-free, lactose-free products, no trans fats, no hydrogenated oil, no high fructose corn syrup. This company, Go Foods Global, will continue to take as I said, the Kaizen steps, the baby steps, to make sure that we continue to improve our Nutriversal seal, our promise, our guarantee, where we source our foods. We remove as many steps from the food chain as we possibly can, and we turn around and put that product back to you, the consumer, the IBOs, and all of the people that are enjoying and feeling very confident about the food they're consuming with Go Foods Global. So those are my thoughts this evening. Thanks for listening into this.